Hey dwellers, it's Jinx. I didn't really want to make this video, but I feel like I have to, because a lot of you noticed that something happened. Some of you are worried, some of you are confused, and I don't want people to guess, spreading rumors, or filling in blanks that I should explain myself. Before I say anything else, do not harass anyone, do not contact anyone, do not go into anyone's stream, Discord, comments, DMs, or community on my behalf. This video is not a call-out mob. This is me explaining my side, because I was hurt, and because my community deserves to know why I have been distant and upset. Before the video continues, I need to add something because this happened after I had already recorded and edited most of this. Blondie has now made a public announcement in her own community saying it was brought to her attention that I used generative AI for my TTS, art, music, thumbnails, and probably more. I want to be very clear about something. My AI-assisted TTS voice was never hidden from her. From the beginning of getting to know each other, I told her multiple times that my voice setup is AI-assisted. I explained that my TTS is part of how I communicate online, and she never seemed shocked or uncomfortable with it before. In fact, from what I remember, she found the setup interesting, cool, and exciting. The same applies to my music. My music being AI-assisted was also not some secret I kept from people. I have talked about it on stream multiple times. I have said that I create it through my own local AI workflow, with my own direction, lyrics, concepts, and themes. Blondie knew about that as well, and she had told me multiple times that she enjoyed my music. So, seeing it now framed like this with some sudden discovery is honestly painful and confusing to me. I cannot speak for what someone else misunderstood, forgot, or changed their mind about. But from my side, this was not hidden. This was not me secretly pretending everything was handmade while lying to people. My voice, my music, and my workflow have been openly talked about for a long time. People are allowed to change their stances. People are allowed to decide that AI is a hard boundary for them. But I do think it is unfair to frame this like I concealed something from people who already knew about major parts of it. And again, I need to say this clearly. Do not harass anyone. Do not go into anyone's Discord, stream, comments, or DMs. I am adding this because I want my side to be understood, not because I want anyone to be attacked. I am hurt because I feel like something that was known, accepted, and even positively reacted to before is now being treated like a betrayal after the fact. I do have a lot of videos that explain my situation and how I do use AI. I am not AI at all. This is crazy to me to think. I am just really sad about this situation, the way I was treated. I was treated like trash and garbage being thrown out. Thank you a lot, Blondie, Cosmic and Aiko, to make me feel like a lesser human form. But for now, try to look at the rest of the video, and judge for yourself. Recently, I lost a friend group connected to collabs and streaming. The reason given was my use of generative AI in thumbnails, images, music, my AI voice, and my general content workflow. The part that hurts the most is not just that they disagreed with me. People are allowed to have boundaries. People are allowed to dislike AI. I understand that AI is controversial, especially around artists and creative work. What hurts is how it happened. I was put into a group situation where multiple people wrote messages at me, made it clear that this was a hard line, and then left or removed me very quickly. I did not get a real chance to answer properly at the moment. I had spent hours preparing a careful explanation about my workflow, my situation, and why this topic is not as simple for me as just stop using it. But it felt like that explanation was never actually given room. It felt like I had already been placed into a box with everyone else who uses AI badly, no matter what I personally do, how careful I try to be, or how much I have supported artists. And that really hurts. What makes this even more confusing for me is that prior to all of this, everyone had been nice to me. There were positive moments. There were collabs. There were games. There were jokes. There was support. My AI music was never really hidden. I have talked about my workflow before. People had heard the songs. Some people even told me multiple times that they enjoyed my music. So, to suddenly have that same thing becomes a reason to cut me off felt extremely sudden. One of my main confusions was how easy it is for them to just drop me, delete me, and throw me out of the window. This shows that they had no feelings as a friend towards me and never had. And this was all not about friendship. I also want to be honest, one day before this, I had already announced that I was not mentally doing well. I said I was spiraling and dealing with personal issues. So having this happen right after that, in such a fast and final way, hit me very hard. I have also been open with some of these people about my fear of abandonment and my bad past with people leaving suddenly. So being dogpiled in a group chat, then removed or left behind without a real conversation, felt brutal. It made me feel like I counted very little if I could let go that quickly. Now I want to explain the AI side clearly. My setup is not me taking random artists' work, feeding it into a system, and asking it to copy them. That is not what I am trying to do. Most of my workflows are local and self-hosted. I run things on my own PC and server using hardware I already own. That means I am not constantly relying on some huge cloud data center for every image or idea. My PC uses power, of course. I am not saying there is no impact, but it is the same machine I use to stream, edit, render, play games, and create content like many other creators do. So, when people talk about global warming and huge AI data centers, I understand the concern, but that is not how most of my setup works. I mainly use my own hardware. If anything suffers, it is my CPU, GPU, and probably my sanity when Node 13 decides to be spicy. The only regular online part of my setup is my voice/TTS API, which uses my internet connection in Microsoft Azure for the voice side. And that is important, because my voice is also generative to AI assisted. It is part of how I exist online. I use TTS because of my own situation, my comfort, my anxiety, and how I present myself as a creator. So, when someone says, stop using generative AI completely, that is not just asking me to stop making thumbnails. That is asking me to remove a huge part of the foundation of my online existence. There are also other creators who use TTS, voice assistants, AI tools, editing automation, generated assets, or assisted workflows. So, it is difficult for me when my use of it is treated as unforgivable, while similar tools are often accepted when they appear in different forms. I also want to be very clear, I respect artists. I commission artists. I pay artists. I recently invested over 1,000 euros into a new PNG model. I have paid for assets, art, and creative work whenever I could. I have even supported people in that friend group with art and gifts. For example, I commissioned an artist for something related to Cosmic, which I will show on screen here. That same day, everything still felt positive. People were happy. Things seemed fine. I also paid for a lot of friend group games so we could play together, because I wanted us to have fun. I wanted to contribute. I wanted to be part of something. That is why this feels so crazy to me. It feels like the support, the effort, the money, the kindness, and the months of friendship suddenly did not matter once this one issue came up. Now, to be fair, gifts are gifts. I am not saying anyone owed me friendship forever because I bought games or commissioned things. That is not how friendship works. But emotionally, it still hurts when you realize you gave a lot to people and then they can leave so suddenly. The simple truth is that I am one person. I stream. I edit. I make thumbnails. I manage Discord. I work on bots. I write lore. I create music. I plan events. I uploaded VODs. I try to keep the community alive and active. I do not have the money to hire thumbnail makers, editors, composers, musicians, and graphic designers for every single project, VOD, stream, or song. I wish I did. I really do. When I have the money, I do hire artists. When I can support creators, I do. My long-term goal is still to work with more artists, editors, thumbnail makers, and musicians once I can afford it consistently. AI is not my way of saying artists do not matter. AI is one of the tools that lets me keep creating while I am not financially able to hire people for everything. The ideas, the lyrics, the themes, the emotions, the direction, the editing choices, the concepts, those still come from me. The AI helps me turn them into something usable. What hurt me most is that I thought I could trust this group. I thought these were people who knew me enough to at least hear me out. I thought they knew I was not trying to steal from artists or hurt anyone. I thought they knew I was already struggling. Instead, it felt like they decided who I was in one moment and left. That is the part one I'm still trying to process. Losing people after 7 months is painful. Losing them in a way where you feel judged, dismissed, and abandoned is worse. And yes, I do feel betrayed. I do feel backstabbed. I do feel like this was handled in a very hostile way toward me. Because of this, I will be limiting collabs from now on. I will be more careful with new streamer friendships and new groups. I cannot keep putting myself into spaces where I open up, invest emotionally, support people, and then get dropped suddenly. This topic will also not be allowed to become a Twitch chat drama. Do not mention the people involved on stream. Do not bring them up in Discord. Do not send me screenshots. Do not go after them. Do not fight them for me. If people bring this into chat, mods will time it out. If it continues, a stronger moderation of action may happen. That is not because I am hiding. It is because I need to protect myself and the community. I know some people will disagree with my use of AI no matter how I explain it. I accept that. But I hope people can at least understand that this is not me trying to replace artists, steal from people, or avoid supporting creators. This is me trying to survive as a one-woman creator with limited resources, while still building something meaningful for my community. Ending a friendship after promising how important it is for some people within the group just hurts and shows that there was no real friendship to begin with, especially when I had a sensitive discussion with someone about person issues and talk about abandonment, the fear of losing yet another friend group. But as it turns out, there are a lot of snakes hiding and people who just want to hurt you or follow you for your size. But as it turns out, there are a lot of snakes hiding and people who just want to hurt you or follow you for your size. But I am still here. To everyone who has checked on me, supported me, or simply waited patiently while I tried to process this, thank you. It means more than I can properly say. Please be kind. Please do not harass anyone. Please let me move forward. There is a quote I want to share before ending this video. The deepest wound is not the betrayal itself. It's realizing the knife came from someone you trusted. Thank you for listening. Your Jinx.
I think I'm dying. But that's okay. Bimo always bounces back. Not this time. But I'm supposed to save the drift. That's my job. Now your job is to be dead. Oh no. Bimo, you can get through this. Really? Just kidding. You're not a hero.